I'm Eggy Drago. I am the cream of the crop. I am the yolk on top. I'm a part-time video store clerk, a part-time brawler. Oh yeah, and a full-time human being. Wow. When I went to Tokyo back in February 2024, I went to an idol concert on a whim because my VTuber Oshi, who graduated, was into that scene. Needless to say, I got hooked. We bought way too many checkies. So much so that we have 2 checky books. 2 checky namakans. All hail the checky namakan. All hail the checky namakan. All hail the checky namakan. After talking to a few idols, I realized every single one of them has a story, be it why they chased this dream, their ups and downs, and even their future after all this. And that's what I'm here to do. Learn more about the idol culture, the various scenes around the world, and to give them a platform to tell their stories. Every idol has a dream and a story to tell. This is IDOLEYEZ.
We are NoXia.
Representing one half of NoXia and also Paradise Love, we'll hear from the Blue Princess about her idol journey. All eyes on me. IDOLEYEZ, episode 34. Lili, tonight, or this afternoon if you're in Australia. Gotta wait for it to load. Is it gonna load? Will it load? Yeah! Alright. Well, I am the cream of the crop. I am the yolk on top. I am mighty Eggy Drago, and we are here for IDOLEYEZ, episode 34, after our 1 week break. But we are back from suspension. We are back going down under again to Australia with our guest for tonight. She is the Blue Rabbit. I don't know. She is the princess of NoXia. She is an Ojo-sama. This is Lili. Pew, 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 pew.
Hello. I'm Lili. Nice to see everyone. The Blue Princess of NoXia, a member of Paradise Love, and sometimes Lili Pion. Yay. Thanks for having me here today. I'm really excited.
Thank you so much for accepting this invitation to IDOLEYEZ. It's been kind of a hassle looking for guests. I'm not gonna lie, but thank you so much. So let's get this show on the road, where we take each guest back to the past with our first question every single time. Who or what got you into idol culture or J-pop culture?
I actually have somebody to thank for this. So I have a younger sister, and she has been a Love Live fan since day one. I think she was a fan of them since she was like maybe 6 or 7 years old, like going way back. And in the fateful year of 2020, during lockdown, she was like, please, please, please watch this anime with me. And I hadn't really watched much anime before. I was into K-pop for a long time, and she was like, no, please just watch this anime with me. And it was Love Live Sunshine. And I was like, oh, okay, like it's not like I'm gonna do anything else during lockdown, right? Changed my life. Like ever since I saw that first episode, I have never looked back. And here I am now. So I have my sister to thank 100%. She's supported me like ever since then, all the way up until now. She's the reason I ever like started dancing like Love Live covers, why I auditioned for my first idol group. Like she 100% is the reason. I have to give full credit to my sister. Got me into this. So that's where I started with Love Live. I know a lot of people start there as well. And I know a lot of people were interested in it like much earlier than 2020, but yeah, I was a little bit late to the game.
I mean,
there. But
better late than never.
Started with right, like I'm so glad that she twisted my arm and made me watch it. Like ever since I saw Kanan, like that was my I was like, I need to do this. But I did also get into Bang Dream or Bandori like pretty soon after, and this is really important to my idol journey as well. I'll keep this part like kind of short, but there's a group in Bandori called Pastel Palettes, and the lead singer Aya is voiced by a voice actress called Maeshima Ami, and she used to be a member of Supergirls, which is like a really old idol group, but I didn't know that at the time. And she did a live performance during like during the COVID time, of a song called Cue My Flower, and she performed it solo. Like the rest of the girls don't play instruments, so she's like representing her whole band. And after seeing her performance, like I was like so, I don't know, like moved by her performance, like her energy, and just like the joy and the happiness that she brought everybody in that audience from that performance. Like after I saw that, I was like, I really want to be an idol. I want to be able to do what she's just done on stage. And I watch that performance all the time, even to this day. Like she's just such a big inspiration for me as well. So my sister and Maya Shima Ami's performance of Cue My Flower came together, and now I'm an idol.
Very inspirational. I mean, like, it seems like I think bleh. I think that's like the first time I've heard like band dream like really inspiring a person. It's very much for most people. It's a lot of like Love Live for sure, especially like in the idol like space, especially here. But like first time hearing band dream. So I do want to ask. You did mention Kanan. Is that like your favorite Love Live idol? Love Live Sunshine idol?
She is my best girl in Paradise Love. I am the Kanan for our Aqua's performances. Kanan has been that girl since day one. I also love her voice actress, Sua Nanaka or Suawa. Like, I love her as well, support all her solo stuff. I don't know, there's just something about her. Like, she just really caught my eye. And yeah, she's just been number one ever since. I also love Nico and Ellie, Emma from Nijisaki, and I really like Ren as well from Liella. I mean, Kanan and Ren look very similar, but yeah, Kanan is the best girl. Like, she's so underrated. Everyone should love Kanan. That's my, yeah.
So we talked about Love Live Sunshine, Band Dream, very much inspiring you to become an idol. But prior to that, is there like anything that you did that really like prepared you to become an idol? Like, did you do any choir? Did you join a choir? Did you like sing prior, or like did you do any dance classes? Anything?
I studied music all throughout school, all throughout high school. So music has always been a really big part of my life. I was in like choir, chamber choir. I was in like orchestra, chamber orchestra, percussion ensemble. Big music kid growing up. Um, I've also been in the K-pop dance cover scene, which is pretty big in Sydney, for a long time. I think maybe some people don't know this actually. So New Lily Law just dropped. I've been doing K-pop covers for a long time, and I've also been a dance instructor for quite a while now. I started teaching dance when I was still in high school, so I think those things kind of all came together to really help me get started with being an idol. So I'm really grateful that I was able to have those like experiences and be exposed to like music and dance for such a long time, that it kind of all came together when I became an idol.
On a side note, since I did ask Tilda this, since she also does like K-pop covers, or like she is part of a K-pop dance group, um,
Mm.
is like the K-pop choreo, it's very much more complicated, right, or complex compared to like the J-pop choreography, right?
These days, I would say yes. I think K-pop these days has a very big like performance factor in terms of like dance and how it looks. So compared to say like Chica Idol choreo, I do think that it is more like technically advanced. Um, but of course, for like Chica idols or even just J-pop in general, I think there's more focus on vocal capacity and like performing with singing and dancing and audience, especially for Chica idols, like audience interaction. Whereas, at least from like my perspective, K-pop is more like how it looks as an overall product. So it might feel a little bit detached from the audience, but it's like you can watch it from afar. Whereas idols is like something that you get involved in yourself. Like you as an audience member feel like a connection with who you see on the stage. So even though the dancing is like, yes, more technically difficult, I think there are other aspects that make idol difficult in other ways as well. Or like, you know, both sides have their merits.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I, prior to all of this, I was a K-pop stan. So,
Mm.
like going from that to Chica idols and like the Kaiga idol scene, it's very very interesting. I mean, it's more. I don't know. There's like a probably a better way to say it, like more intimate or more close factor with the Chica
Mm.
slash Kai Guy scene compared to like K-pop, but like yeah, it's interesting.
Mm.
Like with all its similarities and differences. So I kind of want to ask that. So yeah.
Mm.
um, I guess going into the nitty gritty. What was the first idol activity that you participated in?
My first idol activity was probably, I'm trying to think. I was in a group called Pearlescent Star before NoXia. That was the first idol group I was in. And at that time, when Pearlescent Star debuted, they were kind of like a bridge between cosplay cover dance and like idol cover group. So my first one would have been our first performance, which I think was Smash in 2022. That was also my first time ever going to Smash. Like when I say I was late to the game, like really, I was late to the game. Um, that was my first idol, I guess, performance experience, like as someone on stage. As an audience member, would have probably been at that Smash as well, seeing all these other incredible groups perform. So kind of everything all at once. Yeah, 2 years ago.
um, the first time you performed on stage, what was that feeling like?
I remember we did some in our set. We had like group at that time. There were five of us in the group, so we had some group performances, some solo, some like duos and that kind of thing. And I remember I actually performed a dance cover of Cue My Flower in that set. And like it was, and a lot of my friends from uni and from like K-pop, they came to support that first stage. They were in the audience. That was my first time seeing like the pen lights, and it was like because I did the solo, right, it was like completely blue. And then at like the bridge of the song, when all the ota come up to the stage and they're like doing
Yeah.
this, like I had never seen that before, but I was on stage and everyone came up at that time, and I was just like, I was speechless, but in a good way. Like, it was such an incredible feeling. Like, after that, I was like, I need to do this forever. Like, I need to like be an idol. Like, it was just such an incredible feeling. And even performing as a group, like, we were pretty new back then, kind of all different levels of dance. We were just dancing at that time. But just working together and putting on a stage that everyone enjoyed, hearing all the calls and like seeing people smile and seeing people like try and make eye contact and like making eye contact back and like that kind of thing. Like it just was such an incredible experience. Like it just made me so happy to see all these other people enjoying something that I was doing. So it just left such a good impression on me after that performance. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
It's very like
Mm,
interesting for the first time, like seeing like all the, I guess, crowd interaction with like the light
mm.
sticks and then the call and mix. Even for me, like earlier this year, like being in the crowd and just, I guess, getting shell shocked like with everything, with like the chants and stuff. It's very, I don't know, weird, but also
Yeah.
like getting used to it. It's
Mm.
like it's so fun.
It really is. And I think like especially at that first performance, because I also felt this at like NoXia debut and Paradise Love debut, like at these every stage is important, but the first time you go on stage, it feels like a lot of pressure, like you really want to do a good job. This is your first impression. I was a little bit nervous at those times, but after going on stage and seeing like all the pen lights, even if like supporting everybody in the group or supporting myself, seeing all the pen lights, hearing all the calls, it actually made me feel really comforted. Like my nerves completely disappeared after seeing so many people enjoying the performance. Even if it's just one or two people, like you see a smile, you make some eye contact, or like someone is like excited or they're doing the calls, like my nerves just completely dissipate. Like it's such a good feeling. Like I feel like this is where I want to be and everyone's having a good time. So I like it. I really like it.
Yeah, like even if like I'm not an idol, but like being in your shoes, definitely it's definitely helpful. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. So after Pearlescent Star, you that was like 2022.
Mm.
I guess like flash forward a bit. You're now in a group called Paradise Love. What is Paradise Love?
Paradise Love is a Love Live dance cover group. So we cover Muse, Aqua, Nijigasaki, and Liella. So we kind of rotate between every time that we've performed or filmed a cover, we change the group. So our most recent performance was at Smash this year. We did a Happy Party Train themed set where we wore Happy Party Train outfits, which was of course very special to my heart because I love Kanan. It was like genuinely my like my dream performance. I never thought in my life that I would be able to cosplay as Kanan and perform Happy Party Train. Like, oh, I'm like tearing up a little bit thinking about it. Like, it was just so incredible. But yes, sorry, Paradise Love is, sorry, getting ahead of myself. Paradise Love is a Love Live cover group. I know those aren't very common these days. They were probably more like the thing,
Like when
in
it,
the past,
yeah.
but yeah, we're here and we're having a great time and we're just doing what we love and we want to just, bring enjoyment and happiness and a bit of nostalgia to everyone. So yeah, that's what we're here to do.
So, like when I was doing research,
Mm.
aka just scrolling through the Paradise Love Instagram, like they started in 2021. I guess you slightly joined in like 2023 ish, or like yeah, okay. So you joined around that time. Was there like any reason you wanted to join?
I was in Pearlescent Star for a while, so I was doing more like idol stuff. So when I say idol stuff, I mean like idol groups. When I talk about Paradise stuff, I will say like cosplay stuff, but it's just an easier way to differentiate them, because they're both like performance. But um, yeah, I think I just been talking to my sister, and we had always wanted to do like Love Live cosplay stuff. We'd kind of done a few covers here and there with some projects, like not really any solid groups. And then we saw that Paradise Love had opened their applications, and so my sister really wanted to join. But she's pretty busy. She was a bit on the fence, but she was like, "Hey, you should join this because you can dance and you like they were." I think they were looking for an Umi at the time, and my sister was like, "You would really suit Umi. You should join them." So I was like, "Okay." So I filled out the form, and funnily enough, I didn't hear from them for a while. And this is like no drama or anything. I just thought, oh, they probably got a lot of applicants, like, and it's okay. I've got my idol stuff on the side. And then I remember like a month later, I got a DM from the official account that was like, "Hey, we saw your application. Like, would you like to join us? Like, we really love your application." So I was like, oh, "Yes, please." Like, I was like so honored. I was like, "Yes, thank you so much." Because yeah, like I don't know, something different, something fun. I love Love Live. I think they said they were going to do this Muse performance, and like, got to respect the OGs, like, Muse. So I was like, yeah, I'll join. And then it kind of just went from there, like something fun, and like, I'm really extroverted. I really like meeting new people. So I was like, well, this is a great way to, make more friends in the community and find more people who love Love Live. Like, great starting point for any conversation. We all like Love Live. So yeah, I ended up there.
So you got the application. They wrote back. What was the audition process like? Like, was there like anything that like any song that you performed for them or like anything?
I From memory, I don't think so. It was a while ago. My memory's not the best. I can't remember if I had to include a performance video on the application. Maybe not, but I think I did. Yeah, after accepting the application, we did have like a practice. The group leader B sent through like the songs that we were working on. They already had decided the set list and the outfit, so I was kind of coming in at an in between time, which was totally fine. Love the outfits we did. We did a song for you outfits, and the set list was great as well. And then so yeah, I like rocked up to the first practice, and I was like, I've learned everything. I'm here. And then yeah, like got along with everybody. So it was a pretty relaxed process. I think Paradise Love is a very open group. Like, we want to take people who are committed and who are willing to learn choreography, but it's okay if people's levels are different. Like, I think the priority is enjoying ourselves, having fun, and yeah, just bringing Love Life back. So yeah, it wasn't too intense.
So,
Mm.
your first performance, I guess official performance, the debut, was October 2023, right?
Yes, that's right. At Oz, sorry, there was like a noise outside. At Oz Comic Con. Yes, that was my first performance of Paradise Love. Yeah.
So, what was that like compared to like your time? I guess like the first performance with Pearlescent Star.
It was my first time going to Oz Comic Con as well. There were, I think, seven of us at the time in the crew. It was like my first time having to style a wig for cosplay as well. So my wig was very questionable. If anyone has seen any photos from that time, maybe don't go looking for the photos of Umi out of Comic Con. I've learned a lot since then. I've learned a lot since then. The stage was, I just remember the stage was like so tiny. And this is like, I'm sure the organizers were doing their best to get the convention running and stuff, but there were seven of us, and the stage was probably suited to like three people, but we made it work. And everyone who was in the crowd were, there are a lot of cosplayers that came to see us. So it was really nice to just reach people. A lot of people came up to us afterwards and said they really liked our performance. Like, congratulations on your first convention performance. I think it was Paradise Love's first convention performance as a crew as well. So yeah, it was just really nice. Like, everyone was so supportive of us, and people changed their pen light colors to the color of the idol that you're cosplaying, right? So I was like, oh, the blue ones are for Umi. Like, I was so excited. I was like, this is so cool. Like, I thought it was so fun. Like, it was really great. It was like a little bit different. I'm not a huge cosplayer, but it was fun to, like performing cos and do something a bit different. But yeah, it was really fun. I really liked it.
So, Love Live group usually cover Love Live songs, I would say. What would you say is like your favorite Paradise Love performance they've done?
It has to be the Smash performance for sure. In the Happy Party Train one. And obviously I'm very biased because yeah, can't sent a song. Um, but yeah, that was definitely my favorite. Just seeing like so many people, even if an audience is small, I do want to say, even if an audience is small, you can still feel people's love and support. So the number isn't always the most important part. But just seeing so many people come out for Love Live, so many people recognizing, like who, like, recognizing, oh, that's an Aqua's cover group. Oh, Happy Party Train. Like, yeah, and seeing all the Kanan colored pen lights at like the bridge in Happy Party Train, like, oh, it's seriously a memory that I'm going to hold on to forever. And I'm just like so grateful to like that we were able to be up on stage all together, with the like myself included and the eight other members of Paradise Love. Like, they all hold a special place in my heart. Like, after working together for so long, and working really hard to make it happen, just seeing it all come together was just such like a, like pinch me moment. Like, it was so great. Mm.
How often do you perform with Paradise Love?
I've only performed with Paradise Love twice. We've performed at Oz Comic Con and at Smash. I think we are more focused on kind of performing at cons and then filming covers in between as well. We have filmed a few covers that will go up on our YouTube channel soon, so keep an eye out for those. But yeah, we don't perform that often. I think the focus is more on putting together set lists that are really high quality for convention performances.
With Paradise Love, you are also part of another idol group called NoXia. So let's talk about
Yeah.
NoXia. How did NoXia start?
Um, so Noxia was already kind of a concept with a name and a logo and a theme and a concept, like, by the time that I had joined. So everything was kind of just quite conveniently put in place for me, which I'm very grateful for. Um, yeah, when I joined, so that's kind of how it started. I believe that Sunny from Fable was helping Lace to start a group. So Lace, as you can see in the photos, on this side, Lace is the purple member. Yeah, on this side, in the photos with me. It was kind of her group to start with. So I think she wanted to, work with some other people or work with someone else and try out a different concept. And so yeah, like the name and the logo and the whole like theme and that kind of thing was her idea. And then Sunny from Fable had reached out to me and said, "Hey, I've got this new group that's coming up. Like, are you interested in trying something different?" Because I'd always done like kind of cute things, and um, it was like a new concept for me, like something different. And so I was like, okay, sure. Filled out the application form, and then I met Sunny and Lace over dinner, and then yeah, Noxia kind of came to be from there.
So like
Yeah.
you didn't know Lace prior to any of this, like prior to the group.
Yeah, so we had actually performed at the same show once. When I was in Pearlescent Star, I did a solo set at Sugar Rush, which I think was a Sunny and Naya live. And I performed two songs, like I did Cue My Flower and a Love Live song, and then I think Lace also was the other opener. So we very briefly met at that show, but that would have been probably in 2022, I want to say. and then we like I never saw her again. So we just met the one time. And then when I went to dinner, Sunny was like, "This is Lace," and I was like, "Oh, I think I've met you before." So it was like our second time to meet at the when we were discussing like setting up the group and stuff. So yeah, we've gotten to know each other as the group has, grown as well.
It's very
Yeah.
interesting, like I guess going into the concept and like, cuz like usually even like with Fable's like started by like three friends and then,
Mm.
meshed into like, two more people. But like it's very interesting like walking walking into a concept and like, hey, and then just meeting your other group member. But it's very interesting.
I do think, yeah, I guess every group is different. I don't know of any other groups off the top of my head, and maybe I just don't know. Maybe there are other groups like this, where it's kind of like started as not knowing each other very well and then getting to know each other over time. But like, I mean, I've been in crews before, like say like K-pop crews or other groups. When I was in Pearlescent Star, I actually didn't know any of the members either. I've been in K-pop crews where I haven't known a lot of people, so I don't mind making new friends. I always like to meet new people, so you just have to go in with an open mind and, be open to different ideas and yeah, just try out something new. So, yeah.
For sure. Um I guess I don't know if you want to answer this, but like what makes the group like stand out compared to like everyone else in the Sydney Idol scene? How would you describe that?
I think at the time that NoXia debuted, as far as I know, there weren't many other groups that had this like really dark concept, and especially at debut, um, we really buckled down on it. Like we really doubled down on this dark concept. I had this whole, which I still kind of have. Like a lot of people were calling me Lily Summer, and I would introduce myself on stage as Lily Summer, and I had this kind of persona where I'd be like, "Get on your knees for me, bark like a dog for me," like that kind of thing. And people actually did it, which was super, super fun, by the way. And I still kind of do it a bit when Noxia performed. But yeah, when we first debuted, we went like super serious, like on stage faces like really, like we're here and we're scary and we're like haunted and we're dark. And I think at that time I didn't really see any other groups doing that. So I think we probably left quite the impression on a lot of people at debut. And since then, I've seen a lot of groups expand into like darker sounds as well, like rock or like dark EDM. And it's really great that a lot of people have taken that on as well. So we're always, trying to just fill like niches of like, yeah, like darker concepts, that kind of thing. So I guess that would set us apart a little bit. But of course, we don't own that concept. Anyone is allowed to do it. And obviously, if other people want to do dark stuff, come and join us. Let's collab. Like yeah.
But yeah, it's good that like the scene has variety, because like if it's just like one thing,
Mm,
it gets boring a little bit. So like, it's good that like there's
yeah,
a bit of everything there in the Sydney Idol scene. Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Um. Hmm. I'm gonna assume Lily's your real name, and that's why you chose it as your stage name. But
Yeah. So actually, funny story. There's more Lily lore about to drop. Lily is my middle name. Lily is my middle name. It's on my passport. It's on my license. My government name. Lily is my name. But I think a lot of people see Lily and they go, I don't think that's your name because the spelling is Lili, right? And yes, Lili is not the correct spelling. The correct spelling is Lily. So yeah, this is my name. But there is already another Lily in Etude, and she's also a blue idol. And she was there first. So full respect. Love you, Lily, by the way. Love you. She's so fun. She's so sweet. But yeah, it was like, that might be a bit funny if we both spell our names the same way. So I changed mine to Lili just for something a little bit different. But yeah, there you go.
yeah, I was
So
wondering that.
yes, when you
'Cause-
call me Lily, you are calling me my real name. Enjoy that information.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
a little curious because like I guess every idol has like a different, origin. Because like sometimes it's their real
Mhm.
name, sometimes it's like a nickname, sometimes it's their real name, but it's like cut in half. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like real name just spelled wrong, spelled incorrectly, very slightly. But I like the Lili.
Yeah.
Like when I was making a signature, because I wanted to make like a cute signature for Checky and that kind of thing. So it really like challenged me with that Lili, because with a Y, it's so much easier to make it like a bit fancy at the end. but an I kind of, this is like so niche. I'm sorry. Like an I ends like this. So I was like stuck with this like line, like, oh, what do I do? But I've worked it out. I've since worked it out.
All right. So with NoXia, you met
Mm,
Lace, and then I guess you prepped for debut, around October
mm.
2023, and then you guys debuted. I would just kind of want to remember because I did watch the VOD when I was like
Ooh,
looking for Fable or like researching Fable, but Fablephobia
mm,
2, you guys debuted as
that's
the
right.
opener. All right. Um,
Yes.
so how
Yep,
was
I
that
remember.
how was that experience performing for the first time
Um,
with Lace?
I remember I was so nervous. Like before going on stage, I was so nervous. And I'm not someone that gets super nervous going on stage. Like obviously there's a little bit of nerves, you want to do a good job. But I remember like in all my years of performing in like competitions, filming covers in public, getting on stage at Smash and OzComic-Con, I was like, this is the most nervous I've ever been in my whole life for anything. Um, but there was just so much like as soon as we got on stage, everyone was so supportive. Like blue and purple pen lights everywhere. The Wodos were making calls like right away from our first song, um, and it was like I think we did 4 songs from memory. Sorry if sorry, Lace, if that was wrong, but I'm pretty sure we did 4 songs from memory, and it was like just such a cool experience. It was my first time singing on stage, so I was of course a little bit nervous at first, and I have the first like singing line in the song that we started with, so I think I was like a little bit like shaky, but then everyone started cheering like Lili, Lili, like that kind of thing, and I was just like, yeah, like this is so cool. Again, like this is so fun. And then by the end of the set, I was like, oh, it's over already. Like that was so quick, you know. Um, like time flies when you're having fun, right? And it was just like, yeah, such a cool experience. So grateful to Fable that they gave us this, like big platform, this like big event to debut at. Because I do remember there were quite a few people there, and it was like a highly anticipated show. So yeah, really grateful that they gave us that opportunity. Yeah.
So
Mm,
very big opportunity opening for Fable for their
mm,
one man Taiwan. Technically one man Taiwan, whatever. Um,
mm.
with that, um, kicking the kickstarting the journey with Noxia. How often do you guys perform as a unit?
We were on hiatus for a while after Smash this year. Like not for any particular reason, just had like other life commitments that we needed to like deal with, for lack of a better word. But yeah, we perform, I would say, around once a month, sometimes less, sometimes more. It just depends on like what's running in the community, what kind of events are happening, what kind of like acts people are looking for as well, because like as we were talking about before, our sound is a little bit more niche. Maybe sometimes we don't suit certain themes for lives. Like I saw recently there was like a Prince and Princesses live, and I know like Lily Summer Princess, but like amongst all these cute songs, suddenly we come out with like some dark like song. Like it might be a bit of like a whiplash or something, but yeah, I would say about once a month if we average it out. Yeah.
Uh, since you guys do have like a darker concept, what
Mm.
I guess like what songs are usually like in your set list?
We have 2 songs. So I have a I was really curious about this actually, which songs we perform the most. So I was a statistics major at uni, and so I made a spreadsheet that like totals the percentages of every song that we've performed every time we perform it. I was just curious. And 2 songs come out on top. The number 1 song by far is Knockout by Gaga Piero. We perform that at almost every single live. I think the crowd really love it. The Otas really love it. We love performing it. It's so fun. And the other one is Six Paint by Misalaro Edison. Both these groups, unfortunately, are going to disband, or Misalaro Edison just disbanded, and Gaga Piero are disbanding next year. But those are probably our top 2. Like I think we both really enjoy performing them. They have a really good like crowd interaction aspect to the both of the songs, and I think everyone really enjoys listening to them and participating in them as well.
Mm. Who usually finds the
Yeah.
songs that you guys want to perform? Is it you, or is it Lace, or is it a combination of both?
We send each other songs that we find just here and there. We have a YouTube playlist where if we see a song that we like on YouTube, say like a performance or even just an audio, we'll pop it in there, send it, say, I found this song recently. What do you think of this dance? I will say that Lace found Six Pain and Knockout we found because we were going to cover a different Gaga Piero song, but it didn't have choreo, and we were kind of like we were making choreo, but this was very early on, like before debut, so we were still kind of like new to working together and stuff, and we were like, let's just pick this other song that already has choreo. Um, but Lace did also find Gaga Piero. She really likes a lot of these dark groups. I do have to admit, I really, really love like more cuter side groups. So she's definitely more knowledgeable in this like genre or subgenre of idols. So I would say most of our suggestions come from her, but I'm always happy to do them.
Little bit of a sidetrack. NoXia
Hmm.
debuted Fablephobia around October. Paradise Love also debuted around October. Was there like any difficulties preparing for both around the same month or no?
It was so super busy at that time. I remember even when Paradise Love performed at Oz Comic Con, like immediately after that performance, I got off stage, got changed, went back to the city, and had practice for Noxia debut, like in the same day. Because I think the Noxia debut would have been like the weekend afterwards. I don't think it was the day afterwards. I think it was probably the weekend afterwards. Um, but yeah, so we would practice for Noxia on Saturdays and Paradise Love on Sundays. So for like weeks and weeks, I was just like practicing all day Saturday, all day Sunday. I also teach kids K-pop classes on Saturday morning. So I would teach and then go to Noxia practice like all day. And then on Sunday, wake up first thing, go to Paradise Love practice. It was super busy, but it was so worth it. Like, it's a small price to pay to do something that you enjoy so much. And like, I want to work hard because I want to put on a good performance, and I want the audience to enjoy it too. So, you know, no pain, no gain, right?
um, for sure. So once a month, um, you perform. You did have like a little hiatus. Technically,
Mm,
you've been, I guess, with Noxia for, I guess, almost, yeah, exactly more than a year at this point, since October 24, October 23. How do you feel
yeah, that's
about,
right.
how do you feel about the group 1 year into this?
I think we've learnt a lot and we've grown a lot since debut, especially because I didn't know very much about like I guess there are a lot of things that I have learned that I didn't know maybe at debut. Um, but yeah, I think we've grown at our own pace and we've kind of done things at our own pace. And I would say we're pretty happy with where we are at the moment. There's always room to improve and there's always new things to learn, but that's the case for anything. So I'm really grateful that we have performance opportunities and that we can still work together and we can, share what we like doing with the community. Yeah.
I think. Oh no, I think yeah. Like the most recent performance was at IDOLEYEZ. You guys were openers
Mm,
alongside New Wind. So
yeah.
yeah, I think that's like the first time I watched you guys like perform technically live because like it was live streaming on YouTube. So uh,
Mm.
it was cool. I liked it.
Thank you. Thank you
uh,
for watching.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was like a good time for me because like usually like with OS lives and JP lives it's like 4 a.m. for me, so I
Mm.
can finally
Yeah.
catch it live. So, but yeah, it's cool.
Watching.
Yeah, but yeah, that I think that was like the first time watching you guys perform live.
Mm.
But yeah, and hopefully I can see you guys perform live on stream or whatever, or you guys can have like more performances on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube,
Mm.
pulling it back a bit, you guys did debut with a dance cover. Don't remember the name. My bad. But you
That,
guys did.
that's okay.
But you guys did
Fake ruler, but guilty, guilty. Yeah.
that one. Do you have
Yeah,
like any interesting tidbits about filming or like anything about the dance cover?
I do indeed. So, because it was such a I want to say it was a crazy experience, but not in a negative way, in a positive way. It was a really long day. We filmed the first part of it, or some parts of it, you can see at SCAC, where a lot of the Idol events are held. And we also did our debut photo shoot there. Like the photo that just came up actually is from when we filmed the cover. Yeah. That was all well and good. I'd never been under stage lights so up close before, because obviously for filming we need like a lot of lights around. And I just remember it was like so sweaty and it was really hot. But it was really fun. We had the mics. And then afterwards, we went to this park to film at nighttime, and it was so windy. It would have been probably end of September, I think, or beginning of October when we filmed it. So it was kind of that spring in between weather, and we were in the park, and it was like dark outside. There were no other people around, and we set up in front of this huge tree, and we had some lights, and we were filming on these leaves, and it was just like the sound of like the leaves crunching and like the wind blowing while we were trying to film. I just like remember it so clearly. And trying to, like keep hair in place, dress in place while the wind is like blowing like crazy. But yeah, we got a lot of good shots. It was really cold as well. We took photos, and yeah, it was really fun. It was a long day, but yeah, it was definitely a new experience for me. So I think I'll always remember our filming day.
Do you guys have any more dance covers planned or like coming up in the future?
I think Yeah, I think we would like to film more dance covers. I think especially coming off the back of the hiatus, we want to, get things going again, kind of put some more content out there, especially because, end of this year, beginning of next year, there a lot of people are on holidays, so they're not in Sydney to see shows, that kind of thing. So it would be nice to film a cover. We have been talking about it a little bit. I don't want to give away, anything too soon, or like, make any promises. But yeah, we're definitely looking towards working to put more content on the YouTube channel, and as well prepare new songs for set lists next year as well.
Neat. All right. Guess we talked about Paradise Love. We talked about NoXia. Only 1 year into the game, but I might as well go into a retrospect kind of thing. Since you do perform with NoXia as a duo, and then you do perform with Paradise Love as a 8-7 person unit, more than 2 person unit. Is is there any like significant differences between performing as a group and as a duo?
I think performance wise, the most I think uh, blatant difference would be there are so many more people on stage with Paradise Love. So we have to be really mindful of spacing and formations. Everyone is very good at it. Everyone is really like spatially aware, and we always, I think, are really on top of it. And then obviously with the two of us in NoXia, we have the, I guess, opposite problem. There are only two of us, but sometimes we're on really big stages, say like at Smash or at some bigger events where the stage can fit up to 9 people. So then it's our responsibility to make sure that, we're using the space appropriately. Like we move forwards and we move out and we move in. So making those like on the go, not changes to formations, but slight adjustments to account for stage size is a pretty unique issue, I guess you could say, that you wouldn't come across in a bigger group. So it's definitely made us, I think, more aware of, like where am I compared to where Lace is standing, or do we want to move forward more? Do we want to move back more? Oh, we need to meet in the middle now, so we can't go too far out, like that kind of thing. That's probably the biggest difference, performance wise. I think as well, practice wise. So not quite performance, but when there's just the two of us, we can just say like, oh, I think we need to practice this part, or can we go over this part? What are you doing for this choreo, or what detail are you doing here? But when there's 9 of us, if we were trying to communicate like that, it might get a bit noisy, or it might slow down practice. So we have a few people who will, especially be our leader, who will say like, let's go over this part together, or let's review this part. This is what we're going to do for this detail, that kind of thing. And it's really helpful to have someone in a big group who, can take on that responsibility while still like respecting everybody's opinions and the way that they're dancing and that kind of thing. So it's very different in that regard as well.
Interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting, like comparing and contrasting, like working as a duo, especially like I don't think I ever had a person on that's been in a, well, technically Alex Pinku, but other than them, I think like you and them are like the first two that worked as a duo, but you also worked within a group, so it's very interesting to hear like the differences and similarities. So yeah. What else? Ooh. What would you say is the toughest performance that you've done with either group, or like primarily NoXia?
This is a very One comes to mind right away. At Smash this year, I had a chest infection when I performed, which was so difficult. I want to be really honest. Um, it was the most difficult thing I have done this year, like physically. So NoXia and Paradise Love performed on the same day, and I got sick, I think the Friday night beforehand. So obviously, like, I wasn't going to pull out of both performances 2 days before, right? Especially not NoXia. Like, I couldn't, say to Lace, oh, by the way, just get up on stage by yourself and perform our whole set. Like, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like, especially for two people on such short notice. So, um, I started taking antibiotics on the Saturday to try and like I went to the doctor, got antibiotics, but I just remember being so sick, like as in I lost my voice partially. So in the footage of our live performances for Noxia, you can hear that I sound so strange. And I remember being in the Checky line and talking to, sorry, like taking Checky, and obviously I want to talk to everybody and give them a really good experience when taking Checky. But at that point, my voice was like, "Thanks for coming to our stage," like. And also, like when you're unwell and you're like you just feel tired and you feel like so like, ugh. So I was trying to give like 300, 400% just to like push through and put on a really good performance. So I hope everyone really enjoyed it. Because I got home and like after like, like putting all my stuff away and everything, I just went to bed and I think I slept for like 14 hours. Like I was out.
Oh my
So
god.
that was for sure my toughest performance to date. I really hope nothing ever comes close to that again. I
Hopefully
really
not.
hope that I don't get sick like that again.
No. I mean, at least you trucked through it and like you didn't really damage yourself as much, but like, man.
Yeah, it's just such unfortunate timing. Like of all times to get. At first, I thought I just had, maybe like a sore throat. I did a COVID test as well. I was like, I'm not gonna spread any illness. Um, did a COVID test, came it back. I also get tonsillitis a lot, so I thought maybe it was tonsillitis. So I went to the doctor just to be safe, and they were like, "Oh, you have a chest infection." And I was like, "Awesome, thanks. I gotta go sing tomorrow. Like, thank you so much." But we made it. Here we are. So
um
after all that,
on the other side of the spectrum, what would you say is the weirdest performance that you've done with either group?
weirdest. Between Paradise Love and Noxia, we did have this one experimental live, and I do want to give credit to the showrunner first and foremost because it was an experimental live. We were trying something different. I think it was a really cool concept. So like no like bad feelings. I thought it was really fun, but we did this live where we were encouraged to like jump off the stage partway through the performance and like interact with the audience, like run through them and like go up to them. So it was like a bit different for sure. I haven't done anything like that since. But it was a really like you got to try new things, you got to try new concepts, and I will say the Sydney scene is at the forefront of like expanding and doing different things. So it was a pretty unique live. I remember like especially with my like Lily Summer persona, walking through and looking at people like, get on your knees and stuff like that. And the word being like, oh, yes, Lily, yes, Lily. Like, it really, I thought it was really fun. But then I was like, oh, maybe I was a bit too scary. Like, maybe I went a bit too hard on the like Lily Summer, get on your knees thing. But that was probably the weirdest between those groups. Although I do have one weirder one, if you don't mind me mentioning.
Sure. Why
It
not?
was in it was in Pearlescent Star, so like in a group I was previously in. In that group, for context, we would perform wearing wigs, so it wasn't cosplay per se, but we had like idol sonas like that we would perform as. And it was like we went to Central Coast Comic Con. I had never been. The group leader drove me up at like 7:30 in the morning to this show. I had this brand new wig that I had never worn before, big mistake,
Oh.
that I had never tried on. It was like like Hatsune Miku, like her wig, when people cosplay as her, it's like two really long pigtails, right?
Yeah.
So I had that, but in like a dark blue, and I had never cosplayed with a pigtail wig before. And so we get up on stage, it's all well and good, it's fine, and then I turn around and I see this like blue on the floor,
Oh
and
no.
I'm like, oh, there's no pigtail there. I'm like, okay, so I've got one pigtail. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Side pony, we'll run with it. So I kind of like kick it to the back, because I don't want anyone to trip on it. Then halfway through, I think like our third song,
Oh no.
I see blue on the floor,
Oh
and
no.
I'm like, oh. So then I go,
Ball.
oh,
Oh
so
no.
it's a pixie cut now.
It's
So
a pixie cut.
there's like two blue pigtails at the back of the stage on the floor. I've got like just a wig base on. And then I get off stage, and then like none of my group members notice because obviously like we're focusing on the performance. And I get off stage and someone comes up to me and they go, "You should really sew those pigtails in." And I was like, oh, thank you so much for the advice, you know. And then I went home that day and I was like, I'm never wearing this wig again. And it's like immortalized, like they filmed it and uploaded it. So that was probably my weirdest performance, but that was 100% my fault. But just a funny, you know, like anecdote. I guess. Remember to sew your pigtails in if you're a cosplayer. Don't let them fall out on stage.
Or wear it prior to the performance.
Yeah, try your wig on before you wear it for the performance. Try it on first, dance in it first.
Yeah. Bringing it back a bit. What would you say is your favorite performance of all time, be it in like any group?
Oh, let me think. For Paradise Love, again, definitely Happy Party Train, for sure. But I said that one a lot, and I think, like for each group, there is a most treasured performance, right? I actually really, really liked the performance that NoXia did for Baby Beard. There are a lot of new people we hadn't met before. We opened for Baby Beard on one of the nights when they came to Sydney. There were a lot of groups from the community opening for them. And it was just a really cool experience to be on this stage with a lot of people who hadn't seen us before, who were coming to see Baby Beard, right? And Crazy Fantasy also performed that day, so there are a lot of Crazy Fantasy fans, so like really cool turnout. And I met so many new people that day, and it was such a like lively, energetic performance. When the audience give us energy, I find that it's really easy for me to give even more energy. Like I'm like fueled by people giving us so much energy, and the room was just so electric that day. Like the vibes were so good, and I think Lace and I both put on a really good performance. We did a great job. It was really fun. I think a lot of people really enjoyed it, so that's probably my most memorable, like, favorite performance so far. I hope we can have a lot more, you know, memorable favorite performances in the future too, but for now, that's probably my top one.
It's very like I think a lot of groups or a lot of like openers for Baby Beard I definitely had on Idolize. So it's been interesting. I guess like completing the set, I guess, with Noxia and then Fable and then not Crazy Fantasy, but yeah. But it's interesting, like Baby Beard did ask for like specific idol groups from the scene to actually perform before them, so yeah.
It was a really cool opportunity. I never would have imagined that something like this would happen. You know what I mean? Like it's just never like it was never a thought that came to my mind that oh maybe one day, you know, a group like Baby Beard, like a group from Japan that's you know quite well known, would come here and then ask idols from the Sydney scene to open for them, or like from Melbourne or wherever else they were performing. Like it was such a cool experience. I'm really grateful. Lace, when we were preparing for Smash, the applications came out, and Lace did all the applications. She was like, I'm applying for Baby Beard, and at that time I was like so caught up with all the stuff going on for Smash. I was like, oh yeah, cool, thanks. And then I didn't really like think too much about it. And then she was like, we got in, and I was like, wait, this is really like this is cool. Like, wow, this is such a good opportunity. So yeah, I'm really glad that they reached out to the community and gave us the opportunity to perform.
But yeah, hopefully you guys have more opportunities like that, or like whenever a group or like an idol group comes over, hopefully they'll have more like openers, you know, opening spots for sure.
Yeah.
How different is the idol you compared to like the you off stage?
Well, if we start with Lily Summer, I certainly don't tell people to get on their knees in my day-to-day life, for sure. But I think anyone who has been following Noxia for a long time, I'm sure as soon as they saw it, they knew, like, you know, it's a bit of an onstage persona. And then obviously in Paradise Love, we're cosplaying as characters. So we are ourselves, but at the end of the day, we are cosplaying as a character as well. But anyone who has seen I've done a few solo sets here and there. Anyone who's seen my solo sets or anyone who's talked to me during like checky time or just off stage, that's definitely the real me. Like I don't try and, you know, change myself to be someone that I'm not. I want to be really genuine with the people who are supporting me and supporting us, like supporting NoXia, supporting Paradise Love. Um, I believe that by being genuine, you can receive someone else's like, you know, genuine self in return, right? So I really care about forming like genuine connections. So I would say, aside from the get on your knees, bark like a dog, Lily Summer doesn't like that, you know, aside from that, what you're seeing is really me. I don't want to, I think because my personality is quite like, sometimes like, you're very extroverted, very happy to talk to people and go up to them. What you see is what you get. But yeah, I promise when I tell you to bark like a dog, you should still do it. But promise I don't mean it that much. You know?
um, I guess I don't. I think I've like asked this for some people on islands, but like, what would you say is the most difficult part of idol activities?
I think, hmm, I do think time management is probably a big, like something that a lot of people kind of struggle to deal with. And I will say myself included. There are so many things that, at least in my case, that I want to do. I want to film so many covers. I want to like record. I want to record vocal covers, that kind of thing. But it's just finding the time and really making it a priority, especially if you have other life commitments or other things that you need to do, balancing that with idol activities like practice, live shows, covers, you know, expanding out into other things that you want to do, and balancing that with the rest of your life. I personally find is quite difficult, and I really try and make an effort to balance those things. But more than anything, yeah, that has probably been the most difficult part. But I'm working on it. I really want to spend more time on idol things and really like do what I want to do and branch out. So yeah, time management is definitely a work in progress. Or like, you know, spreading priorities across different things. Work in progress, but getting there.
For sure. Like it's
Mm.
definitely, especially when most, I guess like most idols have this as like a hobby. It's very much, you know, using as much personal time from like work to like do this, and usually you
Mm.
don't have a lot of time, so you gotta like
Yeah.
use that time wisely for sure.
It's a tough one because it's definitely, I think to a lot of us, it is more than just a hobby in that, you know, we're like very committed to it and we want to grow and we want to do more in the community. But at the same time, yeah, it's like in between hobby and job. It's like kind of in between. So sometimes, you know, it requires the amount of time that working, say, a second job or working a job would take. But then, you know, like I don't think a lot of people rely on Idol as their full-time job, right? So it's hard to balance those things, but I think everyone is doing their best and trying to make it work.
For sure.
mm.
Well, speaking of the scene, might as
Mm.
well talk about it since like I guess we did talk about with Tilda, and that was like 3 months after, uh, like that's that arc of people of like interviews where I interviewed people from the off scene, but might as well go through it now since you know it's 3 months later, 4 months later.
Mm.
No, wait, 8, 9, 10, 11, 5 months later. I can't count.
That's okay. I'm with you. I'm with you. Several months. Several
Several
months.
months. Would you say like the Sydney scene, the idol scene, is it like in a good spot right now compared to when you started last year?
I mean, obviously, yeah, I haven't been around for super long, so I can't speak from, you know, too much experience here. But I think there are so many good groups in the scene. I think a lot of people are doing a lot of really good things. Both the groups and people organizing lives. We have a few different like between other groups. I'm trying to think of the right word to say, like some groups, some like companies, I guess. We have a lot of different people organizing lives and putting on really good shows that I think reach a lot of the community. I think the standard of the community is always improving as well. Even in the year that I've been in NoXia and like other stuff that I've done in the past, I think people just keep getting better and better, which I think is so good for the community. You know, the higher the standard and the more that people work hard, the more people that we can reach. And at least in the year that I've been here, I feel like I have seen a lot of growth. Um, so yeah, I think the scene is in a pretty good place. I think There's a lot of original music out there. There's a lot of new groups. Like we saw New In debut recently as well, and I think they've helped the community a lot. We have a lot of great soloists like Wooly, Himawari. We see people in groups who are in groups and also do solo, like Nae, Mayhem, like just to name a few. There are so many. I don't want to discredit anyone. Everyone has been working really hard, and I think their hard work is really starting to pay off. So I think the scene is only going to get better and better from here.
Uh, with being better and better comes with improvements. What would you say needs to be improved with the scene?
Oh. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm really like if I have any, grounds to say anything as someone who's quite new to the community. I think it would be cool. I don't want to say this is like an improvement per se, but maybe something else that we could also do in the community is it would be really cool to see more people from different groups working together and collabing. People will always do collabs, and there are always a lot of like there are collabs here and there, especially at lives. There'll be like one collab stage, or like at the end, or sometimes there are collab covers of a few different idols. But I think it would be really cool for people in who are in groups of like say different genres to work on new things, try out new subgenres, try out a new style, working with different people. I think you can always learn a lot. From working with like people who have different experiences to you. So it would be cool to see more collabs. Not to say that people aren't working together right now. They are, but it would be cool to see more of those.
I mean,
Everyone is quite friendly. I think everyone is pretty happy to work together, but yeah.
yeah.
Just a suggestion on what would be like a nice addition to the community.
I mean, as I guess technically an example, because like Wooly, Nae, and Himawari, they had a super group collab thing, so that's cool. Maybe like some
Yeah,
stuff
part of
like that.
peace. Yeah. Mm,
So,
that was really cool. Yeah. Oh, it still is. Like they're still promoting. It's awesome.
but yeah, definitely like we see it in like I guess K-pop or like K-Con. They have like the special stage where like they have like a new group cover like an old song, or it's like several other members from different groups that cover like one song. It's like I mean I would say like it'd be cool if like the Sydney scene would also have that too. So yeah.
Mm. I think it's something that over time, as people's first original songs, get a bit older and they start to release more content, I imagine that that could be the case in the future. Maybe in like a year's time, when some songs have been out for a little bit longer, other people might start like doing covers of them or working collaboratively to cover each other's songs, that kind of thing. That could be really cool, actually. Like that would be fun to see, I think.
Speaking of couple years, where do you see the scene going from now?
Oh, it's hard to say. I hopefully growing. That would be really awesome to see like more groups. It would be really cool to see bigger events too. I think bigger events come from more audience and more idols. So we have a lot of idols in the community. We have quite a like dedicated group of people who are supporting a lot of idols, which is really awesome to see. I think if we have more outreach and we're able to introduce more people to our community, over time, like we can make something that's really, really good. I think we can really grow the scene more. It's easier said than done, of course, but yeah, hopefully like bigger and better, more people releasing music, more different groups. We have a lot of like quite small groups at the moment. I say as someone in a duo, but we have a lot of small groups. It would be cool to see like bigger groups as well, but obviously that comes with more people in the community as well. So yeah, hopefully just more people loving Idol and doing what they love and yeah, supporting each other. That would be cool.
I guess we talked about the future. Might as well go into the future section. Um,
Mm.
is there any bucket list things that you want to achieve with Peralove and NoXia?
I don't think I have anything that's like really, a burning desire to do. I'm happy in Paradise Love and in Noxia right now to keep going as we are. Um, I think, yeah, sorry, I keep coming back to it, but Happy Party Train was a bucket list item, so that one has already been done. I can't stop talking about Kana, I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
she just, she's always with me in my heart. uh, yeah, I think with Paradise Love, firstly, just yeah, getting more content out and doing more things. I really love working with everybody in that group. Like we've all become friends over time because yeah, I didn't know anyone there either as well. Everyone is so kind and they're all really hardworking, and it's just like I hope that we can keep making people smile and making people happy, and I hope more people can come to enjoy whether it's nostalgia or seeing Love Life for the first time. Like I hope that we can reach more people with our performances. So I guess that's kind of like a, not quite a bucket list, but a goal for Paralove. And for NoXia, I think as well, like we've grown so much and I think we've done a lot. And I think next year, hopefully, we can be more active as well. It would be really great to, be at more events and really show people what we can do. Like you said, there aren't that many, like, there aren't a lot of duos around. There are a few in Sydney, but yeah, I feel like we really have the opportunity next year to work really hard and really make our mark on the community. So hopefully, we can keep going. We can keep going in that direction. Yeah.
I guess a additional thing to the bucket list thing. Is there like any songs that you want to like cover for Noxia?
I think usually when I want to cover a song, or like if Lace wants to cover a song, we send it to each other and we decide pretty quickly. So we're pretty upfront with each other regarding like what songs we want to do. So I don't really have a dream song at the moment. Although I will say we recently started doing a song called Make Marking, which you would have seen in the live stream when we opened for IDOLEYEZ. That was like a dream song of mine for a long time. I'm like a really, really big fan of Aviamu or Avem, whichever way you want to call their name. And it was like such a dream of mine to do a song of theirs for a long time. So I guess any future Aviamu covers would probably, like any of their songs, I would be so happy to cover any and all of their songs. Those are probably like my dream cover songs for Noxia. But we already have one Aviamu song, in the set list. So give us some time and then maybe we can add another one.
Um, since well, you do have like one year under your belt, might as well ask you, since we do have like a lot of idols watching the VOD, and usually it's a lot of like usually people that just started. Do you have like any general advice that you want to give them?
I think it's really important to believe in yourself and believe in what you can do. And don't let your insecurities or your anxieties get in the way of starting something. If you want to do something, the first step is the hardest, but it's the most important. If you want to become an idol or you want to get on stage or you want to sing or you want to dance, the best thing you can do for yourself is to just take that first step. And there will always be people who are more talented than you in every regard, but you can't let other people stop you from doing what you want to do. Be Instead of seeing people who are really talented and saying, "Oh, I could never do that." See people who are really talented and say, "I really want to be like that." Use people around you or, idols in other countries as well to really inspire you and motivate you to work hard. And before you know it, you'll end up just as good as them or, achieving things in your own way as well. I think a lot of people in the beginning, they're really hard on themselves, they're really down on themselves, especially if you've never sung or danced before. I know, like, at least because like I teach dance, right, I know it can be a really steep learning curve to get into dance, for example, and singing is not easy either. But just keep practicing, keep working hard. I also really recommend, I know a lot of people don't like to do this, but film yourself dancing, film yourself singing. You don't necessarily have to upload it, but even if you film yourself today and then you watch it in 6 months' time and you've been practicing over that time and learning new things, you'll be amazed by how much progress you make. I think it's really easy to look at all the things that you're not doing well and, really like be harsh on yourself about, oh, I need to improve this. But I personally believe the only way to improve is by also looking at the progress that you've made. It is important, obviously, to, work on things that maybe aren't your strengths, but you will never improve if you don't acknowledge your progress as well. You need to do both in order to grow. So keep working hard and keep doing what you want to do and follow your heart. Like if you want to be an idol, nothing ventured, nothing gained. You'll never know if you don't try. So just try and see how you go. That's my advice. It worked for me. I tried and here I am. So just believe in yourself.
Powerful advice for sure. I mean, you definitely just do it. Just do it. Like if you don't do it,
Yeah, truly.
there's no progress at
Yeah,
all.
you'll never know. I honestly believe the hardest thing is taking that first step. You can think in your heart and in your mind and in your soul, I want to be an idol and then never do anything about it. But then 2 years from now, you're going to be like, oh, I really wish I like, so don't live with regrets. Do what you want to do. Like take care of yourself, believe in yourself, acknowledge your progress, work on the things that need to be worked on, and you'll get there. Yeah.
For sure. um what do you plan on doing after all said and done, after being an idol?
I haven't thought about it. I mean, yeah, of course you can't be an idol forever, forever, right? But I don't know. I haven't thought. I haven't given it too much thought. I think it would be cool to if and hopefully in my time as an idol, um, I really want to achieve a lot of things and I want to do a lot of things. So if I am able to, you know, achieve a lot of things, it would be cool to like pass that advice and that experience on to like another group. I would really love to maybe not produce a group, but be involved in the process of producing a group in the future too. I would definitely be happy to do that. Like obviously, like quite a few years from now. I don't think I'm experienced enough yet to give that kind of advice, but I think it would be really cool to see the next generation of idols come through and support them as best as I can. So I would definitely like be interested in like teaching dance or yeah, providing advice or that kind of thing in the future.
Well, I think yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely the first time I've heard an idol definitely want to like produce a group. Cause like
Oh, really?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what 34 episodes in, I don't
Mm.
remember anyone saying anything about producing a group. So
Oh,
it's very
like
interesting.
I think it's yeah, it's I mean, I'm very inspired by what Himawari is doing right now with New In. Like she's created such an amazing group with these like they're the loveliest girls I've ever met and they are like they're working so hard and I see like and you can see it in their performances and Himawari is doing so much for them behind the scenes and I'm sure all her staff and like their team are doing a lot too and I don't think it's easy to produce an idol group, but I think it would be a really rewarding experience, like for yourself and for the group as well. If you can help other people to achieve their dreams, why not? If you have the capacity to do it. So, I think it'd be fun. But we'll see. Future, maybe 5 years from now. Who knows?
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
um, I asked this for every single guest, but like, what would the current you tell the Lily that was about to make her idol debut?
Mm. Like before I joined any group,
Any group.
like that. Oh, I would say. What would I say? I think I would say do what you want to do. And what I mean by that is in the beginning, because I didn't know a lot, I think I was a little bit complacent in terms of like, I wanted to film, like, even in my very first group when we were just doing dance covers, I wanted to film solo covers, I wanted to get into vocal covers, I wanted to practice singing and stuff, more like that. But at that time, I was kind of like, oh, well, I don't want to seem like I'm getting too ahead of myself. I'll just take things easy. And I mean, things still did work out, but I wish I had taken a little bit more initiative from the beginning to promote myself more and do more of what I want to do. Because now that I'm a few years in, I find that, like, oh, I still don't have a lot of content of myself for like promotional use or for reaching more people. And I think the more content that you have, the easier it is to reach out to others or like apply for things and that kind of thing. So, um, not that I regret, I try not to have regrets in life, but like if I could go back and say change something or tell myself to do something, I would say just film the dance cover. Just buy a mic and film the like record the vocal cover. Like ask your friends to sing with you. Like talk to more people, reach out to more people. Like in the beginning, ask people for more advice because I don't think there's any harm in making connections early on. So yeah, but I still made it out okay. I think
Yeah, you
hopefully.
did. You did.
Yeah.
I guess what is next for you and for Noxia and for Paradise Love? What's next?
Paradise Love. Yeah. Well, in the very close, near, soon future, Paradise Love are releasing a dance cover on our YouTube channel. It's the first video on our YouTube channel. Promotion time. So please check it out. It's for Christmas. I wonder what the song would be. A Love Life Christmas song. I
Ooh,
wonder what
who
we cover.
knows?
Who knows? If you go to our Instagram and you see the picture of the opening formation, I wonder what group that is. I wonder what the song is. Guess you'll find out. But yeah, so that's in the very near future for us. Afterwards, after that cover comes out, we will be changing to a different group. I won't say just yet because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to release that information, but we'll be working on a new set list in the new year and next year. So really looking forward to that as well. Next year for NoXia, hopefully performing more, coming back even stronger from our hiatus. And yeah, hopefully filming more dance covers. It would be cool to get more content on our YouTube, reaching out to more people, maybe doing more collabs. I mean, there's only two of us, so we definitely have the capacity to work with other small groups or, a few different people from a few different groups. And I think we can do some really interesting stuff. So potentially on the horizon for that. We'll see. And what else? I want to work a little bit more on solo content next year as well. If it's okay to talk about that, like a little bit of self promotion here.
Totally
um,
fine.
so yeah, I performed solo not for the very first time, but as like my own kind of brand. So Tilda from Etude made me a logo, and it is so beautiful. It's Lili with this blue ribbon. It was in the IDOLEYEZ promotional photo, so you'll see it. Tilda designed that for me. She's incredible. And yeah, I really want to work on like building my solo, I guess, portfolio, like getting more set lists out there, making original music. Who knows?
Who
Who
knows?
knows? Maybe, who knows? If you're, maybe you'll be looking for something to listen to in the early months of next year. Maybe we'll get to the end of summer and you'll think, I really wish I had a cute, boppy, sweet song to listen to, but I just can't find one. Well, who knows? Maybe if you keep up to date with me on Instagram or X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, maybe, who knows, maybe you'll find a song will fall right into your lap that fits that exact description. But who am I to say? Who am I to say?
Oh no.
Who knows?
It doesn't work.
But
Okay. Yeah,
what was
usually
it?
I have like a command that'll like show the links for like your social media and stuff, but it doesn't work because no, I have to authorize it again because I got suspended. But follow Lili. Follow Lili on her Instagram if I can link it. Hang on.
Lily Love Chew, Li, like the name says down there, and then Love Chew, LOVECHU, on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you.
Yeah, there.
Um,
Follow her.
I think, yeah, thank you if you follow me. Yeah, I think just quickly I'll mention this as well. I guess my reason for wanting to pursue solo as well as NoXia and Paradise Love next year. I want to do all three together. It seems like a big job, but I'm excited. I'm here for it. I'm going to bring my energy and do my best. NoXia is a very concept heavy group, as we discussed before. Paradise Love is also technically very concept heavy in that we're a Love Live cover group, right? So I really love really cutesy, sweet idols. Like, I love Kyurerin Teshitemite. That's like one of my favorite groups. Also Aveamu. I really love Wasuta, like that sound and that style. So I want to use my solo, like what I do in my solo to show that side or like the music that I like the most. And yeah, like show more of myself and reach people with a different sound. Just something a little bit different. A lot of people have said that it's like, because in NoXia it's so dark, and then in my solo it's so like cutesy and that kind of thing. It's like really big like gatmoe. But yeah, hopefully if you like gatmoe, I've got great news for you. You should support my solo stuff and support NoXia. You'll be very surprised. They're like night and day, literally opposite sides of the coin. So yeah, I really want to spend some time pursuing that as well as NoXia and Paradise Love. Because like I said before, NoXia and Paradise Love, we don't perform super often. And obviously I'm not looking to perform, 24/7. You have to give yourself time to practice and do different things. But in the downtime, I think, why not work on myself and do something that, will only improve my skills further? The more you perform and the more you practice, the better you get, right? So I want to be able to reach people in a way that really resonates with me. So yeah, we'll see. End of February, who knows? I don't know what will happen then. Who knows?
Who knows?
Guess we'll find out. Who knows?
Well, I'm looking forward to your future activities in the next
Thank you.
upcoming year, for sure.
Thank you.
I guess this concludes this. I guess the question portion of IDOLEYEZ, but of course we have to end with our tradition called the worst pep talk ever, where I give the guest for 1 minute the worst pep talk ever. So we might as well do it right here, right now.
I'm excited.
1
I'm
minute
excited.
on the clock. Lily, um, of course, I just got into the scene like earlier this year, but like getting to know like every single group and like getting to know like every single like scene, especially the Sydney Idol scene. I, I'm really hoping for the best for NoXia. I really like the concept and I really like the songs that they do, and you know, seeing you guys perform at Idol Etoile is really good, and I can't wait to see you guys perform even more. Can't wait for the solo stuff, for sure. Whenever that comes out, who knows? Who knows? Um,
Who knows?
you definitely have the drive to keep doing this, keep going and going and going. And I really hope, like in the future, the Sydney Idol scene is very much, I guess, popping for lack of a better term. And hopefully you can produce that group that you want to do. Um, you honestly keep doing what you got to do. And yeah, I want to say like this is definitely my favorite. I guess Sydney Idol scene type episode for IDOLEYEZ. So thank you so much for being on the show. And
Thank you.
that is it. 1 minute 14. So yeah.
Thank you. That was the best pep talk ever. I loved
It's
it.
always
Thank you.
it's always terrible. It's always terrible.
No, I feel like really like motivated. Like, thank you for like validating me. Like, you're like, you can do it. I'm like, yeah, if Eggy says I can do it, I can do it. Like, I can do it. So thank you. Your words are so kind. I really appreciate it.
But yeah, I'm really hoping for, I guess, the future content for next year and whatever years that'll come. So
Thank you. I'll do my best.
yeah. I think that is it for this episode. Next week, I don't have a guest lined up, so I'm still looking for someone, as always. So who knows? But, yeah. Other than that, thank you so much, Lily, for being on the show. Thank you so much for accepting this invitation after a lot of people declined for several reasons, which is totally fine. Whatever. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you for inviting me and having me on. I really appreciate the opportunity to, share my opinion and my story. Like, I'm just another idol in the community, but I really want to I want everyone to grow and I want everyone to have a good time. Maybe I'm too like wearing my heart on my sleeve here or something, but yeah, I really appreciate it and I really appreciate everything you do for the community, like, and for idols in general. Like, it's really cool what you're doing. So thanks for inviting me. Yeah, I keep saying the same thing, but I really appreciate it. I really do.
I'm gonna say the same thing. Thank you. Honestly, thank you. But that is it for tonight/afternoon. If you're in Australia, keep going to those Thai bonds. They need all the support that they can get. Definitely, cause like that scene is very much dedicated, and yeah. That's all. If you wanna follow Lace, not Lace. If you want to follow Lace, sure. Follow Lace is right there. If you want to follow Lily.
Noxia Night on Instagram, Noxia Night on Twitter, Little Lace Doll on Instagram, Little Lace Doll on Twitter, Lily Love Chew on Instagram, Lily Love Chew on Twitter. We've got all the L's and N's covered. We've got them all covered.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, follow us. Thanks.
Follow Lily. Follow Noxia. Lace's Instagram is probably in the Noxia one. Yeah, so.
And you know what? Paradise Love too. Follow Paradise Love, YouTube, Instagram, while we're at it.
But yeah, follow everyone involved in that scene. And
Yay.
That'll be it for tonight. Take care, brush hair, be kind, rewind, and we'll be going to the ending screen. VOD will be up tomorrow. You'll see a tweet about it. That's all. Taking it to the ending screen right here, right now. Bye.
Thanks for watching.